Well,
Well,
my favorite subject today.
yourself.
Myself. First of all, before we start today, the word barbaric came up today in a story about what's going on in the diamond mining industry. Now, again, I told everybody what was going to happen. It's happening. It's like, the first stage of grief is denial. And they're in denial out there about what's really going on in the diamond business today. So, at one of the mines in the world, and I'm not going to get into this too heavily, which mine, I'm not going to get into a lot of details, but the Miners Union, and please Google the stuff I talk to you about if you question any of it. The Miners Union is calling the behavior of this big natural diamond mine, they're calling it barbaric because they're laying off the miners because, guys, you're an industry that's lying to itself. You're done. And because they start laying off miners because they can't afford to keep them, by the way, 200 miners at one mine. We already know. I think I haven't talked about what's going on with the De Beers mines. I mean, I know people at De Beers. I know what's going on at the mine level. And you know what they're all doing? They're pooping their proverbial pants, unfortunately, because they're going to be laid off. The diamond industry as we know it has changed forever. Face it, get your head out of the ground, stop lying to people about what's really going on in the industry. It's unbelievable that you persist in your game of denial. Is this a good? Am I doing well?
It's a pretty good pep talk.
Right?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
feeling
get
it.
real. Not diamonds. Well, yeah, actually, yes, diamonds, because, as the scientists from the Gemological Institute of America said, well, on the Rappaport Diamond Report, the fanatical mine diamond misrepresenting report. And sorry, Martin, I think a lot of what you've done, but let's start telling people the truth. The mines are closing. I've been saying it forever. De Beers has been devalued in the last 48 hours by Anglo American again. You have miners being laid off. You have people's lives being ruined who could have known about this 2 years ago, at least, because you know about it. I knew about it. I'm a small voice in the industry so far. I want to be a big voice in the industry because we're the facts. We're people where people can go. It's like this age-old myth that somehow investing in a diamond, a white diamond, is a good investment for your family. It's ludicrous. We're in the information age. Get the right information, get it here, and this is the best segue to what we're going to talk about today.
From Colin the Truth Ferguson to Colin the Goat. We've got it all.
So there, but I'm sorry for these people. And that's what I want to talk about. I love this business. I've been in it in 43 years. I said last week, you can check my on the podcast that the miners were in trouble. They lied to them. This whole thing comes as a big shock. Really? Why? It's because it's a self-centered industry. Anyway, it doesn't care about its workers. And you've known that forever, from child labor to, well, very, very disturbing facts about the diamond industry. Yet here we are. So there.
Did
Sorry
we?
about that, Marin. I wasn't expecting that. But I'll tell you, when I saw this article
Quick
today,
rant.
barbaric, it is barbaric. It's, I don't know. It's a lot of things.
I don't think we even told them what the title of the podcast was today.
See how selfless I am? It's about why I'm the GOAT,
Wow.
right?
It's all about you, though.
How do I turn that into something
I
about
know.
me?
I know. You always manage to. It really, really impresses me.
Well, it's, I'm at the anyway. So we're going to talk about my second favorite subject because I thought about this morning, and my favorite subject is the global diamond industry. And I guess in regards to that, I am the GOAT because of my background.
Which we're getting
But
into here.
but hang on, I'll let you talk about that. I want to appear to be humble. Do I bear to be
I
humble?
don't think you wanna leave this in my hands. I don't think that would be a good idea.
Sorry, I forgot who I was talking to.
Excuse me?
You. I'm talking to you, Mary.
Right.
So I have to be a little more uh, guarded.
Mm.
Can't leave anything open for you to slice in there and
Oh, yeah.
cut me
What's
up,
gonna happen?
right? So,
Let's talk about you.
okay,
Why is he the goat of the industry? We say it all the time. Now let's back up our words.
let's start at the beginning.
Yeah. How did you even get into this? How did you start?
You know, that's what people always ask me.
Because it's
How did I
interesting.
get into it? But the truth of the matter is, it got into me. Even when I left the industry after being at, a very prestigious level of the industry, I've had some tremendous honors in the industry. As you know, I've received a couple of medals for philanthropy from the royal family, all because of this industry. I've had unique opportunities to sit and have lunch with people like Elton John, and I've had the opportunity to, you know, have more than lunch with people like Uma Thurman. Do you like how I said that? More than lunch?
Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
No, we're going to leave that one. And we're also not going to tell my Kim Kardashian story.
Oh my God. I think that's
And
one of the
where I
first
had
things you ever
dinner with
told
Kim
me.
Kardashian, and at my table was Steve and Lib. And these are all things from the diamond industry, by the way. But here's the thing about me being the GOAT, um, is I have been at more levels of this diamond industry from the mine to the marketplace than any other person on the planet. I know more about opening national jewelry store chains. I know more about, let's see, I know more about working with the most prestigious diamond mine in the world, perhaps ever, the Argyle Pink Diamond Mine, when I had the tremendous opportunity to be awarded the position of authorized partner. Partner?
Partner?
Hey, partner. To all our Texan clients, that one's for you. And we have a lot of you in Texas. Yeah. And so where else? What else have I done?
Well, we were about to start at the beginning. You said the industry got into you. Tell them how did it all start? Just a brief.
I met Doug Spence. And this guy is a brilliant diamond entrepreneur. That's Doug's name. And Doug wanted me to come to work for his company. And it was at a party that I met him. And then I went to his office and did an interview, and he offered me a job. I mean, at the party, he said he wanted to hire me over and over again. And so so that's how I started in the industry. I started in sales with that company, and Doug, being the guy he is, the sales training was tremendous. GIA, everything. They had all the equipment. I loved the business, but didn't feel retail was for me, is what
Why?
really happened. Well, they used me to open stores across the nation, and I just hated retail. I didn't like standing around waiting for people. Honestly, I didn't like the message. I didn't feel the message was transparent, which you can say about all messaging in the diamond industry at the retail level, because most of them have no clue. Like me, they're put behind the counter, they're given a script or some tips to read. That is, the old story. And the old story, guys, to sell a diamond was what a great financial investment it would be in your future. And that's simply a story that lacked merit then. And it made me so uncomfortable. I left retail forever. Yeah, I was grateful for the opportunity. I learned so much about the industry. I had my first exposure to Antwerp, Belgium there, where I would return
How
at
long were you in the retail space?
3.5 years.
And then you went to Antwerp after that?
Did you say Antwerp?
I was gonna say Antwerp, and then I
It's
corrected myself.
well, the thing about Antwerp, Belgium is for 450 years. So let me answer two questions. The diamond industry got into me. So I left retail. I had the unique, I'm so grateful, opportunity to open a national jewelry store chain. It's a very successful business even today. I know the people who own it and run it, great relationships with them all. What happened is I retired. It just wasn't who I was. And so a week later, I get this call with a heavy Flemish accent out of Antwerp, Belgium. And when I say I get a call, there were no cell phones in these days. This is a message on my phone at home from someone in Antwerp, Belgium, saying, "We're interested. We had heard about you. We're interested in talking to you about being hired for their position in North America as a North American distribution manager." Which is ultimately what I became. That fellow that had called me, his name was Eddie Greisbert, Grysperdt. The name of the company in North America was Gray and Sons, and understand this about Eddie, or Uncle Eddie as I prefer to call him. Uncle Eddie was a former De Beers site dealer, you guys, and this is selling of the $100 million diamond boxes where they don't get a choice in those days. You either take your box or you leave, which I can get into in more detail on another call as we move into how the business really has worked historically. It's changing dramatically now. But given his training and his experience and his mentoring of me, again, I moved from this incredible entrepreneur opening jewelry store chains across the nation to one of the most highly respected um, diamond people in the world who became my mentor. De Beers authorized uh, site dealer. It's an incredible story, incredible opportunity. He showed me everything from how to look at a rock, diamond rock, rough, all the way through the process, how to cut, what to look at. Uncle Eddie also introduced me to fancy colored diamonds, which is one of our real strengths in the company now. And so, yeah, it was exciting times for us.
When you were a distribution manager, is that when you would travel around with the suitcases of millions of dollars
Yes,
in diamonds?
yes. I would have to check into specific hotels, and yeah, I would have 15 or 20 million dollars. And to give perspective on that, that could be one diamond, guys. People forget this. This is, one diamond sale business can do your revenues for an entire year. As it was, I used to fly out to New York, rent a car, drive back across North America, and sell to all the wholesalers and retailers. And Eddie's son who was best man at my wedding, actually. He and I would travel together a lot all over the world, and go to these shows. This is the life, the life of a true diamond broker, and it's certainly my life still today. It's grown up a lot now because in these days we didn't have things like cell phones. We had pagers at best. Even when cell phones came along, they were these massive. They were the size of a lunchbox, but after my experience with Gray and Sons, when Uncle Eddie unfortunately became ill and passed away, and they closed down their international operations, again, the diamond business got into me, and I really didn't know anything else at this point, and I started a very, very small company called Diamonds Direct. I feel like I'm talking too much, and because I like having your cute little face in here. Now, what's going on?
Well, they can see me.
Why? Yeah, I know they can see you, but they can't hear you if I do all the talking.
I thought you didn't like it when I talked too
I
much.
since I have Stockholm syndrome, I'm not as comfortable when you're not abusing me on the call.
Oh,
Like,
I
are you just
see.
being nice? Is that what's going on?
No, I think it's because I'm
Holy,
actually interested in what you're saying.
it's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
It really is fascinating. I've done things like, well, we've already talked, but I've been offered reality shows where they sent film crews up to follow me around, and
That trailer I saw the trailer for that.
yeah,
So funny.
right?
Like, it's like watching the Kardashians. It
Yeah,
was so funny.
it was very popular, except for obviously, I had a young family then. This isn't that long ago. It's probably 7 years ago. And they followed me around for 2 weeks to see what I actually did. It was interesting, the process for this. We may have to turn this into a two-parter.
I feel like I actually had that thought. I was like, I feel like getting really deep into it, you can't cover 43 years in 25 minutes.
But Look how good I look at the end of it, right? Like miles to go before I sleep, by the way. That I came back
Damn it.
here.
Sorry.
I came back here with a vision and a purpose in the industry, and it was to get rid of the bullshit and supply candor. I mean, there's so much misinformation in this industry still. You know, the fact that the miners are shocked in the mining industry, I'm never going to get over that. Like, guys, get your head out of the sand. Is that a good say?
Get the rocks out of your head.
Right? Like, honest to God. Okay, so where am I at? You got to keep me on track because look, you guys, I've spent so much time with billionaires and millionaires, and I say all the time, whether you're spending $500, $5,000, 50,000, 500,000, 5 million, we broker them all, and we do it at prices that defy comparison. Don't think because you have 500 for your engagement ring, and we get these people. They're usually referred by friends, and we give that as much respect as we do anything else. We just don't make as much money on the.
Yeah.
Should I be talking about that? Is that wrong?
No, I think transparency is
One
good.
thing
That's your
about the
whole
money,
thing.
one thing about the money is no matter what, we're making less than anybody else who's going to supply the diamond.
Yeah, that's why they all hate you
Yeah.
in the
What do you
industry.
mean they all hate me in the industry?
They're trying to get you off the
I have more
platforms.
followers oh, I know, right? It's so, you guys, they don't want the truth. It's like being in the US presidential campaigns. They try to block the truth. The stuff they do is unbelievable. And I say to people, and you could win your $5,000 reward for proving anything I say is wrong. And so far, and I mean, this is episode 136. How
Yep.
many posts do we have? 400 and something. I can't even remember. And so far, no takers. So these are the facts. They're the facts for you. They're what's going on in the industry. And that really, to me, the world's most beautiful diamonds, I made all these predictions, and that's why I'm the GOAT. Right. And it's not like when I talk about the industry getting into me, I kept trying. It was like the mafia. I kept trying to get out, then the industry would keep dragging me back in. My Diamonds Direct story and starting this very small company after going through a very difficult time in my life and it becoming a very big company, which that on its own is a story all by itself.
Well, yeah. What's the statistic? Like 95% of businesses fail, or something like that.
It's not even about that. It's about what was going on in my life at the time when I ended up homeless, living on the streets at the age of 28,
And you
where
still built the business.
where I read a book on success, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I decided to apply those principles. And at 28 years old, that book provided me with at least my first $1 million. And
Why are you
is
gatekeeping the book?
there's no reason for people to know all my secrets.
I thought you were a Colin the Truth Ferguson.
Okay, like, look, if I want to not tell them I'll tell them later. Okay, we got to give them something to come back for.
Okay.
All right. I know you're my biggest fan.
Screenshot that. Who's this?
I know you're my biggest fan. I don't want to. Is that okay?
That's okay with me.
It's for later. It'll
Sure.
come in. The fact that I was homeless is something like I know what it was like to take a welfare check.
Well, do you want to talk about why that happened?
I had issues.
Had?
I feel like I made that too easy
You
for you.
did. You did. I
Yeah,
had
I
to.
did. But yeah, so life, we change, things evolve, things happen. Some of them are very hard, some of them aren't so hard. I live by certain principles and laws and what's the other word? And I have a very strong, although I'm not a religious person, a very strong personal, spiritual uh guiding light that draws me forward. And, I'm very grateful for the good and the bad. And things these days are very good. We're excited about the growth of the business. We're excited about our client base. We're excited about, our success on social media. Um, the future is exciting.
Lots to come.
Yeah. So why I'm the goat? I don't know. I think that's kind of, and I don't want to sound religious because I'm not, but I think that's kind of God stuff. Like how many people in the industry have been, here's one for you, authorized partner for the greatest diamond mine, the most famous diamond mine, the most valuable diamond mine ever, the Argyle Pink Diamond Mine out of Perth, Australia. I mean, how many people have that opportunity in our industry? And it's nobody. There's a handful of guys, and they're all good guys. They all really know their business, but they ain't the GOAT.
Apparently now also they're not God like you are. You just called yourself.
Did I?
Delusions of grandeur are reappearing.
They're real. They're absolutely
They
real.
are.
Did I call myself God?
You
I
kind
wouldn't
of
do
did.
that. No, I wouldn't do that. That's not something I would do for sure.
Rewind the tape.
Right now, you want to stop and rewind the tape? We are going to have a part two.
We
I
can
kind
do
of
that
feel
in
like.
post.
So yeah. So this is the most prestigious diamond mine in the world. In a couple of years, we were the biggest. I say we to be generous with my team. I was the biggest buyer in the world, 2 years consecutively. One of two of the biggest buyers in the world. And yeah, the experience has been incredible. The opportunities have been incredible. So, what it really means is when our clients come to us and we talk about this, look, I have been saying for decades the only return on a diamond is beauty. The only return on your diamond is beauty. Think about the paradigm of owning, not buying. Think about the paradigm of owning a diamond and not buying a diamond. So guys get all in their head. They want a deal. They want this. They want that. Look, all she wants for the rest of your lives together is the symbol. And for her, it's a symbol of the love the two of you share. And this is what goat talks. This is how goats talk in the industry to people. If you ask her, she will say, I want my diamond to be beautiful and sparkle. She may not say it like that, like a man pretending to be a girl. That's kind of creepy under the new Donald Trump regime. Go Big Daddy. What? Is that wrong?
Did you just call Donald Trump Big Daddy?
Yeah, that's from Texas Check. TC.
It's funny when she says it. When you say it, it's just disturbing. I feel like you think you're like brothers or
Go
something.
Big Daddy. Okay. I'm sorry. 100%. Right. What we're seeing in the world, what we've seen in the world. And I don't talk politics. I believe that it's your choice. But boy, has there been changes in the diamond industry globally since Big Daddy got in office.
So now we're talking about the other goat.
So here's the thing. Here, let me tell you this. Origin of your diamond. Here's a good story. Origin of your diamond. Apparently, the industry can't get it done. Well, apparently, under Donald Trump's rule, the industry has to get it done or they can't bring them into the US. Not that it matters anymore, but it's one more nail in the proverbial coffin of the global diamond industry, the global mined diamond industry, because they can't do it.
We'll see what
They
happens.
weren't able to do it, and now that they don't have a choice, see how quick they're able to do it. Which, when I think about this, why wouldn't they be able to do it? Why do they mix them all together from all over the world? Not that I believe it matters anymore, but this is more the diamond industry spewing its rhetoric, its misguided rhetoric. And sorry, guys, I love the industry. Stop the bullshit.
That was powerful.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. And I know that everyone would like to hear, I would like to hear more about your kind of what happened with being homeless, getting out of that, building a new company, building a successful company. But I think it's going to have to be part two.
Did I actually say I was homeless?
Yes, on welfare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you did.
Then it's got to be true.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Hey, look, everybody, we really appreciate you being here. What minute are we at here?
26.
Wow. Time flies when I'm talking about myself. Isn't that the
Yeah.
quote?
It's your quote. We'll put it up on your wall.
Anyway, look, the world's most beautiful, the industry's changing. All the predictions we've made, you want transparency in your diamond and in your pricing. You want the prettiest diamond forever, whether you know it or not. We're the global diamond broker. These are the world's most beautiful diamonds. They're at prices that defy comparison. And now there's Rare Rock right around the corner. The world's most beautiful diamonds, the finest crafted diamond jewelry in the world. No bullshit.